It's springtime, and Jeff is in an area that should have bass up shallow to spawn. This lake has shallow, murky waters and seriously heavy cover where he knows the fish are hunkering down on beds during the spawn.
You know, I've always said when it gets this time of the year and the fish are spawning or really close to spawning, they can be really tough to catch if you're not actually looking at them and seeing them on a bed. And part of that, in my opinion, is just like when you see a fish on a bed, he's not always easy to catch. A lot of times you have to work him for a while, and if these fish are up here spawning and you're just flipping in these holes and pulling it right out, you know, you could, right there. There's one. Finally got a bite. Not a big one, but it is a fish. But what I was saying is you could be flipping in these holes and a fish be in there and he just not bite. He just sit there and look at it because he is on the bed. They're not always protective. But just taking this new Stupid Craw and flipping it in there, I've actually rigged it different. I was flipping it, you know, with the jig head earlier. Now I've just Texas rigged it, and partly because of what I'm fishing. With this Texas rig, it just kind of slides through them cattails a little bit easier. You know, when you have it on the jig head like we had it rigged earlier, to me works a lot better like in a little bit more open stuff. This stuff is so thick, you really need something to slide straight down in them holes and just fishes just a little bit better like that. A little better. That fish, I was reeling it up that cattail and I couldn't even see my bait back there, but I could see that fish blowing up thinking he's got to be on my bait. And he finally got up there and ate it. That was a little better fish, healthy fish. Good one. That right there is fun. 65-pound braid, big heavy rod, the Stupid Craw, and flipping back into gnarly stuff. Man, that was a fun bite right there. Flipped over the top of them cattails. Thank you, Mr. Fish. Oh yeah. The one thing I like the most about this Stupid Craw is the size of it. It's a little bulkier than some plastics, and there's some that are bulkier, but it's just it's a good thick body, which it's a hollow body. It's a tube style bait, hollow in the middle, where you put rattles or whatever you want to in it. Got these little legs that's got a lot of action to them, and it's just a good bait to slide through these cattails, getting thick cover. You know, you're not having to shake it to get it in there. It just goes right through there. And for me, the bulkiness, you know, I just feel like I catch better fish like that. Great bait, soft bait, easy to set a hook on and catch big ones just like that. Let's get another one.
As this afternoon of fun, fishing, and field testing the Secret Lures Stupid Craw carries on, well, Jeff continues to reel in fish after fish, and it looks like he's about to land a lunker.
Oh, that's a big one. That was simply a light spot that I seen. Looked like a bed. I flipped it in there, let it set, shake it a couple times. Line just starts moving off. Stupid Craw. There you go. Man, that is so much fun. And that bait is just something else. Now I'm telling you, I'm really liking that bait. As you can see, I mean, it tears up, but you want that. I mean, I'm telling you, you want a soft bait. Not just for the action, but for getting a hook penetration. When you put a big hook like I'm flipping, you know, that's a big choker hook right there, and there's a lot of metal right there. And you want to have some soft plastic where that hook can drive all the way through that plastic and get into that fish, even though you're flipping braid and big rod. Another thing you want to keep in mind is the equipment you're using when you're doing this. You know, I want braided line, a stiff rod, something I can horse them out of here with, good heavy wire hook, and the size of weight that you use. That could be a big key. If you're throwing too light of weight where you can't get down in this stuff, it's not gonna do you any good. But if you're flipping the holes like I'm fishing, like I'm using a 3/8 ounce weight, but I'm keying more on just the holes in this stuff, so I don't necessarily want something that falls real fast. I want to be able to pick it up and hop it a little bit and it still kind of flutter around, because I'm thinking, you know, if a fish is on a bed, I just kind of want it to stay in there where I can move it around a little bit more. If it's in the summertime and they're in the thickest part of this stuff, I may go to 3/4 or 1 ounce or whatever I got to use to get back in that thickest cover. There's one. Boy, I got him over everything. There he comes. Man, they're so far back in this stuff. I mean, he smoked that thing. God, that's fun. I mean, I'm literally, you can see where I'm just flipping a lot. If I can see bare spots, I'm flipping to them. But I've not caught a fish yet that has been thick in the cattails. Everything has been in this more open stuff, and all it is, they're on beds. You just can't see them, the water's too dirty, but I can see, every now and then I can see some white spots, and I know that's beds, and I'm just flipping in them, and obviously they ain't been flipped in because they're biting pretty quick when you get in one. And that fish, I couldn't see anything. I was just dragging it through all that. You seen what I drug him over. I couldn't even see behind it, but I was just dragging my bait through there, and I mean, he just knocked slack in it. God, that's fun. There's one. Boy, I mean, as soon as I picked up on it, up in fire poles, I mean, he was just there. Nice, fat, healthy fish. Man. Man, there's just so many ways to rig this bait, different ways to fish this bait, deep, shallow. It is an awesome bait. It has sure been fun fishing with it today. It's been a good day.
Well, it's safe to say that the Secret Lure's Stupid Craw has more than proved that it can hold its own when rigging it Texas style. Remember, when you're fishing in thick cover like we've seen today, strong braided line and a stiff rod paired with the Stupid Craw will be your best friend on the water.